boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that.
Yeah.
And
Do you guys ever talk outside the ring?
I'm pity with him. I'm pity with him.
Speaking bad about my company, I'm not a liar. I'm a lot of things, but I'm not a liar. I worked hard to build my name, to build my reputation, and I'm not gonna let anyone go out there and smear my name and talk bad about me, talk bad about my family, or talk bad about my companies.
They said it was a lie. So they said he owed about $5.5 million more in taxes because of it. They also said he had to pay an additional $1.1 million in penalties for making mistakes.
Manny Pacquiao shames Floyd Mayweather over his alleged $500 million scam and reckless spending, stating, "I pity him." While acknowledging Mayweather's boxing skills, Pacquiao criticizes his obsession with materialism, flashy lifestyle, and belief that money defines worth. He urges values over wealth, hinting that true legacy isn't built on cash.
Now, in the beginning of this conversation, you say, I don't like boastful people. How was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
This kind of, yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that.
Yeah.
And
Do you guys ever talk outside the ring?
I'm pity with him. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think sometimes, he kind of reminds me of like a lot of people are like this, by the way, including myself. I'm not just saying him. I'm including myself. The man who goes up to Jesus and says, "What should I do to get into heaven?" He says, "Sell all your belongings." And he walked away crying because he couldn't sell his belongings.
Exactly.
I feel like that sometimes too when I'm working for my wife or I'm working for my family, but then the conviction of like, all right, you got to make sure you're doing it the honest way, the right way, the loving way, not the cheap and easy way. Sometimes people, they try to do both.
There's a discipline, a balance, like discipline, control yourself. Like, for example, you're earning money. So what I did is like, I help the church. I give the 10% to the church, helping the church to run and establish more churches. And the 10% separate to help the poor people, building houses, giving a sustainable livelihood, like that. Yeah. Just manage the financial.
Floyd Mayweather denies all scam allegations, calling them completely false. He revealed it's his first time taking legal action. Mayweather has filed a $100 million defamation lawsuit against Business Insider, specifically naming Insider Inc. and reporter Daniel Geiger as defendants in the New York case. He insists the media is unfairly targeting him to damage his reputation and legacy.
So, I know you guys want to talk about real estate. Only thing I'm doing is answer the question.
That is a real estate question.
Okay, so out of 48 years, I'm 48 years old, and I've never sued a media outlet. The media outlet throughout my life has bashed me, talked bad about me, spoke bad about my family. Now, I've always been judged because how I have presented myself when I'm promoting a fight. You cannot judge me for entertaining the people when I'm promoting a fight. Judge me for the person that you know. You can't judge me if you don't know me. So that's no different from people in this room may want to do a deal with me. But if someone going out there putting lies on my name, put lies on me and my team and my family and hurting my business, we're not talking about millions. We're talking about billions of dollars. We can't do that. So this is my first time ever filing a lawsuit against a media company.
As Floyd Mayweather faces scandals over bankruptcy rumors and alleged scams, Manny Pacquiao criticized his focus on exhibition money over a real boxing legacy. He suggested Mayweather's arrogance is catching up with him. Pacquiao stressed that true champions show humility, not flashy wealth, reminding fans that greatness is proven in the ring, not flaunted with diamonds, jets, or self-promotion. Real legacy, he said, speaks through quiet actions, not loud displays.
The fighter is, I believe his name's Conor McGregor, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen him? And if you have, what do you think of that? Just him as a fighter and then that whole Mayweather wanting to fight him.
I don't want to make the story.
You can be modest.
I don't want to make the story big and the issues big. So I just want to. I want to keep my mouth shut.
Floyd Mayweather has long projected an image of flawless financial success, but recent findings by the Internal Revenue Service paint a different picture. While Mayweather publicly maintains that his financial obligations have been settled, IRS documents suggest that he still owes millions in unpaid taxes. This isn't about small discrepancies or accounting delays. These figures reflect a serious looming liability. The gap between Mayweather's image and reality is stark, and it leads many to believe that his public declarations are more about preserving his brand than reflecting financial truth. It's becoming increasingly difficult to separate Mayweather's flashy lifestyle from the mounting evidence of instability beneath it.
Imagine getting a letter from the IRS saying you owe millions in taxes. That is how Floyd Mayweather got knocked out by the IRS in 2022. Floyd had some issues with his taxes for the year 2017. The government checked his tax return and found a problem, so they informed him about it on February 2nd, 2022. He claimed a big expense of about $14 million that he says he paid for legal expenses. The government didn't agree with this expense and said it was a lie. So they said he owed about $5.5 million more in taxes because of it. They also said he had to pay an additional $1.1 million in penalties for making mistakes on his tax return. That was how Floyd got KO'd into the hot water with the tax authorities. Comment on the word free below this video and I'll send you access to a free call where you can discuss your tax situation with the most experienced attorney and get the best possible recommendations in a few minutes. Make sure you're following so you can receive the link immediately after your comment.
In recent years, Mayweather has leaned heavily on exhibition matches as a new revenue stream, often bolstered by high-profile sponsors. Among the most lucrative of these were cryptocurrency companies eager to tap into his global fame. While the sponsorship money flowed freely, questions arose regarding the integrity and legitimacy of some of the crypto projects. Floyd-backed reports suggest that Mayweather may not have fully understood the nature of these ventures or failed to properly vet them. This has led to criticism that he prioritized quick paydays over responsibility, inadvertently promoting financial traps to his followers. His involvement in these crypto deals highlights a recurring theme: profit over principle.
This is how you know investing in crypto is the cool thing to do right now. So Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather just had their fight. Logan went 8 rounds with the 50-0 Mayweather, but look at their shorts. First of all, here is Logan's shorts that he wore. He had Blockfolio as a sponsor, which, you know, we all track our portfolios on Blockfolio. And he also had Superbid. Superbid is some kind of random coin that sponsored Logan. And their whole website right now is just about how they sponsored him. But let's take a look at Floyd's shorts. Floyd Mayweather was sponsored by Ethereum Max, which is just some random ass shit coin that paid Floyd to put them on his shorts. As you can see, it's one of those 0.00 shit coins. It's down 10% even after the promo. So I obviously don't recommend buying any of those coins. But you can see that Floyd and Logan were both sponsored by crypto companies, which is honestly pretty cool for an event this big.
Floyd isn't alone in the crypto controversy, but his involvement...
Floyd isn't alone in the crypto controversy, but his involvement has amplified concerns about celebrities endorsing financial products without proper oversight. When someone of Mayweather's stature attaches his name to a cryptocurrency, it lends a veneer of legitimacy that many fans take at face value. Unfortunately, several of these projects have turned out to be either unstable or outright scams. The lack of regulation in the crypto space makes it easy for bad actors to use celebrity endorsements as bait. Floyd's repeated participation in these questionable deals has fueled the demand for stronger consumer protections and stricter rules around financial endorsements in entertainment and sports.
People executing these scams are like Anon people hiding behind a Pepe avatar. And of course, there's a laundry list of famous influencers, Logan Paul, Kim Kardashian's David Dobrik, that have all endorsed these absolute shitcoin scam casino rugs that leaves their investors high and dry because they paid them a bunch of money up front and maybe they didn't know any better because it's such a nascent space. But I am just flabbergasted that the highest paid boxer, one of the most famous people on the planet, Floyd Mayweather, has managed to become a repeat offender as a scam artist. Now, everybody knows Floyd's an opportunist. He's an entrepreneur. He likes to make money. He always has money, talks about money. That's his shtick. That's his persona. That's fine. You can make money. You can be a hustler. You can get paid a bunch to box, do whatever you want. But you got to draw the line somewhere.
Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn didn't mince words when asked about Mayweather's current career path. He acknowledged Floyd's brilliance inside the ring, but noted a troubling shift in focus, replacing competitive bouts with staged exhibitions. According to Hearn, the switch is not driven by legacy or love for the sport, but by necessity. Without major sponsorship deals or pay-per-view headliners, Mayweather is possibly scrambling to stay financially afloat. Exhibition matches, with their relatively low risk and high return, seem to have become his go-to strategy.
I'm gonna tell you why I like Eddie. So one day, somebody asked, because you know I don't have social media on my phone. So they showed me Eddie. Eddie was like, Floyd Mayweather ain't got no money. That's why he doing exhibitions. No, Eddie don't believe that now.
Yeah. But Eddie will say some shit like that now.
Eddie will say some shit like that. But one thing, don't worry about that. But me and Eddie got it clear. Didn't we, Eddie?
Yeah.
One thing, me and my buddy got it clear.
We said as long as it's 10 or 20, no problem. Anything less, can't be less than 10. Because then we're struggling for money.
I just showed Eddie some of the account. Eddie, hold on.
Imagine how much money Floyd Mayweather would have made if I was his promoter. You know what I'm saying? Two hungry fuckers for money.
Chael's son, never one to shy away from commentary, weighed in with his own theory on Mayweather's troubles. Rather than suggesting a lack of earnings, Sonnen pointed the finger at Mayweather's lifestyle. According to him, it's not that Floyd didn't make enough, it's that he spent irresponsibly, from expensive cars to gambling habits and high-end luxuries. Sonnen believes that unchecked spending has finally caught up with the former champion. He emphasized that no amount of wealth can survive perpetual excess without limits. His observations reflect a broader concern that Mayweather's success may be undermined by his inability to restrain his appetite for extravagance.
Did Floyd Mayweather make a good real estate deal? Let's break it down really quick so you can understand. Yes, the fuck he did. Let's start off with the purchase price. He bought 1,000 units for $402 million. What's the math? 402 million. Let's say 400 million divided by 1,000 units. That's what, people? $400,000. Okay, follow me. Now, rent in New York is about $3,000 to $4,000 for a 2 or 3 bedroom. Crazy, I know. That's how they living though. Now keep up. 400,000. What's 1% of 400,000? All right, that's $4,000. In real estate, there's something called the 1% rule, which means if something is 1% of the purchase price in rent, that means it is a cash flowing opportunity. So he has a cash flowing property straight out the gate. We're not going to mention the hundreds of millions of dollars in tax exemptions he will get for this property. It's a win for Floyd. He doesn't lose.
Sports analysts and former athletes have noted a trend in Mayweather's post-retirement activity. The business of boxing now outweighs its spirit. His match with Logan Paul, while lucrative, did little to elevate the sport. It was entertainment cloaked as competition. Observers argue that Mayweather has chosen immediate gain over long-term contribution to boxing. There's a noticeable absence of mentorship or support for young fighters. Instead, Floyd seems content to remain in the spotlight without investing in the sport's future. It's a choice that profits him personally, but distances him from the values that define true legends of the ring. Deji, who once stepped into the ring with Mayweather, offered a candid reflection on the man.
Is there any chance that Floyd Mayweather actually steps into a UFC octagon or some cage somewhere and takes an MMA fight?
No, Floyd's not going to do MMA, but he is going to box again. He's enjoying this attention. It's been very smart what he did. I think it surprised him. I think he was just going out to have a little bit of fun. I don't think he realized he could get 4 and 5 weeks of headlines out of this, but he does need to box again, for sure. I mean, you call it breaking news, but I will tell you unequivocally right now, Floyd Mayweather does and is planning to box one more time.
And the motivation behind getting into a ring again to box, when he said he's retired, why do it?
Floyd's broke. You got to understand, the only thing more embellished than Floyd Mayweather's pay-per-view numbers is Floyd Mayweather's net worth, and he made a lot of money. But remember this, it does not matter what you made, it matters what you kept, and he is a dum-dum.
So anyone, Floyd's made $1 billion, Floyd has gotten $300 million for Pacquiao, $300 million for McGregor. That might be true, but that money does not exist anymore. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so Mike Tyson, you know, he did real well too. Evander Holyfield, again, it's not what you made it. And don't forget, boxing and MMA math, whatever that number is, you get 30% of. So 30% of $1 billion, he still did really well, but not when you're spending money like that. I mean, that's just the way it works. We've seen a progression of these guys, one after the next, that all end up the same way. And that's broke, and they're just not smart with their money. And, I mean, that's all it comes down to. I'm not even trying to bag on Floyd. Look, he's just not a very bright guy. He's surrounded with even less bright guys. This is the way it works when you're a boxer and you go spend that kind of money. If you ever buy things that cost money to own, you're going to be broke.
Mayweather revolutionized how boxers sell fights by playing the villain, arrogant, boastful, and unapologetic. He turned public dislike into millions of dollars. Fans paid not just to see him win, but often to see him lose. This strategy worked financially, but it came with a price over time. It blurred the line between image and reality. Instead of being admired for his skills, he became a symbol of controversy and ego. That legacy, while lucrative, lacks the universal respect afforded to more humble champions. Logan Paul, who fought Mayweather in an exhibition bout, raised a question that resonates with many. If Floyd is truly as wealthy as he claims, why keep fighting in non-serious matches? Exhibition bouts were once considered beneath elite fighters, yet Mayweather has embraced them repeatedly. Paul's point underscores an uncomfortable possibility. Mayweather might not be fighting for fun, but for funds.
Logan. Now he's fighting Deji? Is he broke? Is Mayweather broke? Are y'all new here?
Yeah.
Is he broke?
Yeah.
He's broke.
Yes.
That makes sense.
No, he's not. Jeff shaking his
Yes, he
no,
is,
he's
Jeff.
Not.
Jeff, why is he doing these bullshit fights just to make money? Why don't you take a seat, manager Jeff, and tell us why Floyd Mayweather is taking random fights?
Let me ask you a question just to lead him in. if you have $100 million net worth and somebody offers you another 20, are you gonna say, nah, I got 100 already?
No.
Okay. So what's the fucking question? Homie's taking the bags, and the Deji bag is a big one, buddy.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
I don't know. Is it?
Dubai, yeah.
You're
another 20, 30, 40.
Yeah, why not take that bag, bro?
I was gonna say Deji's cut of this fight has. My guess
Even
was
if he pays him $700,000.
My guess was
Floyd Mayweather's brand is built on the boldest displays of wealth imaginable, from private jets to million-dollar watches. His life is a walking showcase of riches, but behind the sparkle lies a pressing question: what happens when the cameras turn off? His identity has become so intertwined with material possessions that fading finances could threaten his sense of self. When a person's public image is tied solely to what they own, any financial slip becomes a personal crisis.
I'm not asking how much, but did you get paid at least some of it up front?
Yes.
Okay. Because obviously Logan, when he fought, he keeps talking about how he still doesn't got anything.
Yeah.
And now you have fought him.
Yeah.
You got some of it at least.
I mean, I just have better manager, agent, all of that.
Although you may not have done it if Logan had just been paid, right? Like maybe you needed Logan to...
No, it's because it's like, remember when I fought Vinny Hackett?
No, yeah, true. No one at that event got paid.
Everyone apart from
you and Gib, right?
Yeah, me and Gib, we got paid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Shout out manager.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you say his name?
Yeah, say name, yeah.
Shout out Lim.
Chiverano.
Man like Chiverano.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next.